Every club. Every day. Every club. Every day. The Global Sports Podcast Network.
Oh, no.
Hello and welcome to the Newcastle GSPN podcast. My name's Joe. I'm going to be hosting. Apologies for a bit of a strange intro there. I got a bit tap happy on the intro button. Never mind. It's a girls only podcast today, so it is me and my girl Nick. How are you doing, chick?
I'm good. It wouldn't be a start to a pod without a few technical glitches, would it?
Exactly. Especially with us. Let's get real. Come on.
Exactly.
That's what we do best.
Exactly.
Cool. For obvious reasons, and by the title of this pod, we are going to preview the Brighton game. So we'll just run through how important we think it is. Are there any danger men? We'll do some predictions, and then we might just predict a bit more. I say a bit more the rest of the season. We've only got 4 games left, haven't we? So
yeah, it's gone so quick.
I'm going to be very sad. It's going to be a long
what
summer.
What are we going to do with our life?
I know.
We haven't got any Euros this year, have we?
No, it's like a real football-free summer. I don't know how I feel about that, but then again,
no, I don't.
International football doesn't excite us quite as much. It's just like a kind of thing to tee you back through the next season. So
absolutely,
it's fine. Hopefully, we can enjoy the sun. Right. On that note, anyone that listened to yesterday's pod, it'll be yesterday's pod by the time you listen to this, will have heard me and Ian having a bit of a mashup, as he called it. But we did cover a bit of the Brighton game as well. So I'm going to put to Nick what Ian put to me yesterday.
Oh, I'm scared.
Obviously, we know it's not too bad. Don't worry. I'll not be totally in. So as we know, we've got 4 games left. Everyone's calling them 4 cup finals, as we have on every single game, and that's absolutely fair enough, I think, if I'm honest.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously Brighton next. Out of these 4, do we see Brighton as more important? Do we see it as very important? Or is it just a bit of an obvious statement that it's an important game? How are you kind of feeling about the importance of getting a win down at Brighton?
My genuine consensus about the game in the first place is that I'm absolutely dreading it, because Brighton seem to be our bogey team where things don't ever seem to go to plan. So, yeah. But we are at home. Are we at home? No, we're not. We're away, aren't we?
No, we're away, chick.
Oh,
no.
Anyway, this game, we've got 4 left, and I have said previously that I think the game against Brighton and the game against Chelsea the following week are 2 of the most important games out of the 4. They are kind of, I think they're all must-wins really at this point, but these in particular are definitely must-wins, and we've got to go out. We've got to put our best team out. We've got to go out fully concentrated, full strength, hopefully no slip-ups, and it is a must-win and 3 points. Between us, City, Chelsea and Forest, and even Villa, if you want to include them, it is quite tight at the top. Obviously, we're recording this on Thursday evening, so by the time everyone's listening to it on hopefully Friday, Nottingham would have played their game in hand, so the result of that is obviously quite significant because they are only 2 points behind. So if Nottingham Forest win their game in hand this evening against Brentford, then it's a no-brainer. Chelsea and Brighton, particularly Brighton, are up to win, in my opinion. But yeah.
I think it's a strange one, isn't it? Because Brentford, obviously, it is Forest and Brentford's game in hand over anyone, obviously. So Brentford, if they win it, because it looks, when you look at the table, it looks that Brentford really aren't in the run for the conference. However, if they manage to beat Palace, I'm all over the shop with my teams. If they manage to beat Forest, that puts them right back in contention, because then they're within 2 points of the conference position. So it is a huge game for Brentford as well as Forest, which is good for us because we need that to be. And as me and Ian discussed yesterday, Brighton are still in the mix for the conference as well. So that's where it's going to be a harder game for us. It's not like we're playing a team that it means nothing to, or they're already relegated or anything like that. We've kind of had those teams now and they are gone. But we're with you all the way, I'll be honest, because I said it, Ian backed us up yesterday, that these 2 games are probably the most important out of the 4, because if we can get these 2, I already feel quite confident, let's say, that we're going to get Champions League just through belief of our team and belief of knowing what we can do. However, I think I'll be ultra confident if we win these next 2 games, and that's even being really cocky. without looking at even what the other results are, if you know what I mean. It's huge. To get the win over Chelsea is obviously huge because they're right up there with us anyway.
Yeah.
But if we can get the Brighton and the Chelsea, I just think it puts you in such a strong position that surely we're not going to mess this up and we're going to finish in the Champions League one. So yeah, these two are huge.
I agree at the fact that I don't want to say it because now I don't want us to not get it, but I do think we're sort of signed, sealed, delivered on the Champions League next season, or at least Europe, at least. I should probably
Europe,
say that out
100%.
loud.
We're in Europe. I don't fear that, yeah.
Obviously, yeah. I personally believe out of the remaining out of the teams that are competing for Champions League, out of the remaining 4 games, I do think we have the toughest run, if you like. Minus Everton, maybe. But you've got Brighton, Chelsea, Arsenal. They're 3 teams that are decent on their day.
Have Chelsea not got a hard run in? I'm just going to pull it in.
Oh, have they? Let me have a look.
Well, Chelsea's
they are
weird,
playing
right?
Conference League tonight as well. Oh,
yeah.
What I've said. They've got Liverpool on Sunday.
They have, but Liverpool have already won the league. You know what I mean? It's not going to be as tough a game as it would have been had they had something to play for. So,
but they are going to go full strength, Chelsea.
Oh, well, yeah, Chelsea will. That's what I mean. So, like, Chelsea have really got something to play for there. So I don't see Liverpool as hard a game as it would have been. What I meant was Liverpool have got nothing to play for. Sorry, not Chelsea.
Yeah,
so, all right, that is sandwiched by the 2 European games, which unfortunately means if they're going to concentrate on that, they might not put as much effort into the Liverpool game, if you know what I mean. Yeah. It's a strange one, isn't it? But then they've got us, they've got Man U, they've got Forest is their final game. So that's really interesting for the end of the season, one. I'll be honest, yeah.
I'll take back what I said.
That's mad. I know, so it's a bit mental. That's why I see these 2 games for us as huge, because obviously no matter what's happened, say they beat Liverpool, whatever, say Liverpool really don't turn up and they're still partying, but we beat Brighton. But then we do beat Chelsea. That's where I'm going to feel ultra comfortable about we are getting Champions League football at that point. I know it's only 3 points per game and there's 4 games, but I do see these 2 lots of 3 points as being so much more important than the other 2.
They are 2 must-win games.
Oh, 100%, yeah.
They are 2
Whereas
definitely
the Brighton one, though, you bang on. It's one of those that we'll either go down and smash them, or it could be the other way around. It doesn't seem to be this kind of... no. It swings and roundabouts, isn't it, massively with Brighton, and this is where... I think end-to-end football, I think it's going to be an exciting game. Maybe a bit too exciting for our hearts, but we'll try and chill throughout a bit.
Let's be honest, Brighton play some really exciting football, don't they?
They've got some great players, absolutely great players, and that's what I mean. But we'll talk about their players in a minute, because I'll give us something to talk about later in the pod.
I've just logged on. I've just this will be for the second part, maybe, Joe, but I've just opened a screen on my phone, and I don't know if you guys have spoke about this yesterday, but someone's injured from the Newcastle team. Well, I think we should save it for the next part.
Well, we did talk about someone being injured, so now I'm wondering it better be the same person.
I don't
not someone new is what I mean.
You wasn't in the pod yet.
Is it Big Joe?
Yeah, right, okay. Whew, yeah, same person.
I mean, I'm not happy about that, but more the point was I was thinking, don't you dare tell me there's someone else.
No. Also, he avoids a 10th yellow card, and this is what he's rewarded with, a bloody knee problem. Now he's going to miss the remaining 4 games. Just to Newcastle United over, isn't it? Anyway.
It is.
Sorry.
But again, it is something we can touch on because, again, it is a discussion we had and then we talked about who we would want to replace him. So, yeah, we'll do that. But I'll tell you what, because we're starting to go on a bit of a tangent, I'm going to play the Bioniq advert, which is ever so professionally read out by the dulcet tones of Ken, and then we'll come back and we will chat more about injuries and stuff.
Your body is unique. And Global Sports Podcast Network has partnered with Bioniq, the world's most personalised supplements. Bioniq provide 100% tailor-made supplements designed to deliver precisely what your body needs at exactly the right levels to optimise your health. No guessing. So click the link in the show notes. Use the code GSPN2025 for 40% off your first month's subscription. Bioniq. Don't settle for off-the-shelf solutions made for just anybody. Get what's right for you right now.
Wonderful. Thanks, Ken. But obviously you can't hear us, never mind. during that, anyone watching will have seen it, but anyone listening wouldn't have a clue what Nick's just done during the advert. So she flashed up the fact that Eddie is up for Manager of the Month. What I do love is various other social media people had seen this earlier on. However, they've absolutely mocked up Eddie Howe with like a cigar coming out of his mouth and all sorts, and then put a line underneath saying Mad Dog as well and all that sort of thing. So it's like a dual kind of Manager of the Month award going out, but obviously would love him to get it. Let's see.
I just want
on
to
that note,
clarify the fact that how iconic would it be that Eddie Howe wins Manager of the Month and he's been in bed for half of it?
From hospital.
Yeah, from the hospital.
Unreal.
Jason Tyndall should be on there.
Yeah. He was high as a kite on drugs because he was ill.
He was.
And he still manages to win. That's how great we are, right, people?
Wait. We know Arnold's going to win that, though, because he won the league this month.
Oh, whatever, yeah. Exactly.
Stupid.
Never mind.
Anyway.
We shall probably move swiftly along. Quickly on the note of something of the month, did you see that both Jake Murphyno and Harvey Barnes are up for Player of the Month?
Yes, I did.
So, with fantastic stats, a pair of them, because it was 3 goals, 3 assists for Murphy and 4 goals, 2 assists for Barnes. And if you look at any of the other candidates, none of them were as good as that. However, you can guarantee the likes of, I don't know, McAllister, which everyone seemed to be plugging for in the comments, will win it, even though he only had, 2 goals and 10 goal involvements, apparently.
Yeah, not assists either, just 10 goal involvements.
I don't see that, but yeah, whatever, exactly. So we'll see. I couldn't help myself like I do on social media. Sometimes went in the comments and I was like, anyone voting for anyone other than Jacob Murphy or Harvey Barnes needs their head read, basically. So yeah, no doubt I'll go back to some abuse on that later. Hey,
oh, God.
Yeah. Right. So we'll go back to what you mentioned before the ad. So my brain went blank and my mouth went blank. Sorry about that, people. Big Joe injury. Me and Ian talked about it yesterday, and as such, I've already given my answer. So I'll let you go first, and then we'll discuss.
Okay.
So basically, if it's true and he really is out for the rest of the season, let's go to Sunday first, obviously. Who are you playing instead of Big Joe? Who would you like to see? Sorry. So don't think about who Eddie's going to play, because we can all play that game and we probably can predict it. But who would you like to see play?
I would like to see Mr. Willock back in the team. Now, I know we've sat on this pod before and discussed how he doesn't make an impact, blah, blah, blah. But it's obviously not getting regular game time. However, Joe Willock, on his day, when he's not the right frame of mind, but when he's getting the game time, when he's having a good game, he is fantastic, 10 out of 10 on his day, and he does make the impact that we have seen in the past. So I think, oh no, I'm missing Barnes, aren't I? Dear me. Oh no.
What do you mean?
No, I'm not.
Right.
So I'm getting myself confused. No, I think I'll go with Mr. Willock. Yeah, Mr. Willock,
yeah.
Joe Willock. I would go for. Yeah, cool. I'd like to see him back in the team.
I chose Miley, I'll be honest. And as you can imagine, Ian agreed because Ian loves Miley. But to be fair, I do want to see him play more.
He does deserve it.
It's daft, and people need to hear us out when I'm about to say the next part, because I watched the Barcelona game last night, and my favourite young player, or just favourite player in the world right now, just made a little masterpiece as well. 17-year-old Lamine Yamal. He's just unbelievable, really. So to watch him and see that he's got 100 appearances for Barcelona already, and he hasn't even turned 18. Crazy. It's just nuts, isn't it? You're looking at what was like 33 goals, 22 assists, something like that. And it made us think, the likes of Miley should and could play more than he does. Yeah. It can't be. Surely it is purely because of the fact that we've got that strong 3 in the middle, and it can't purely be down to saving him. We can't be saving him. The kid's got Champions League experience now. There's been plenty of players over the years, Rooney, Owen, a lot of players that played from such a young age and absolutely thrived. So it really shouldn't be protecting a big, strong lad like Miley, because he is a big, strong lad now, because he's bulked up and all sorts, hasn't he? So, as I say, I would love to see Miley personally. But again, it's nothing against Willock, is it really? It's nice to have, for a change, the options out there as well.
Yeah, it's a headache for Eddie, isn't it? Because who does he choose? I don't know. Yeah. I don't actually know where he's going to go with it.
I know. I think he'll play Willock, my personal opinion.
Do you think?
Yeah. I want Miley, but I think
again,
we'll play Willock as my prediction
I've
there.
just sat on that first part and said how pivotal these next 4 games are, particularly these next 2. I don't know if we can really afford for Willock to wait for him to have a good game. He needs to kind of be on it from the get-go, really, doesn't he?
That's my kind of problem with Willock at the minute.
I
He
didn't think
hasn't
about
been
that.
amazing.
No.
And it's nothing against him. We know he can be.
Yeah.
But he needs to be on it because everyone needs to be on it.
Yeah,
Brighton in a
maybe.
way it will probably be harder than the Chelsea game, maybe. I don't know.
Mate, 100%. I think Brighton are a great team. I genuinely think Brighton are a great team. They've
A
had some
lot of
cracking
strength.
results this season. They've beat us three times this season. So yeah.
I know. No, I'm with you, chick. I suppose on that note, is there anyone as a kind of standout player that or multiple if you've got them, by the way, that you're worried about from Brighton's side of things? I know obviously they're coming off a 3-2 win versus West Ham, aren't they, from last weekend? Was last weekend, right? Yeah.
Yeah, God, it all just goes into one, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Their
we
previous
haven't
run,
discussed
though,
this, me and Ian, by the way, so this is a new one.
Their previous run isn't the most recent run. So they've beat West Ham 3-2. Then they've also lost against Brentford the week before that 4-2. They drew against Leicester, by the way, who've obviously been relegated 2-2. And then they got beat by Crystal Palace. Also, they've had like 2 red cards in the last 4 games as well.
Yeah.
Maybe Brighton's heads are falling
That's what I mean. They're not on. Yeah, exactly. They've got great players, and that's why, as I say, I'm not at all going to see them as a pushover, and we are absolutely definitely on a better run than they are.
100%.
It's just about keeping our run going, isn't it? Is the main thing.
Yeah, they're not on a great run at all, actually. God, I really should have done my research before we started recording.
No, well, I didn't look at their recent form, to be fair. I'm just kind of looking as a whole and how I feel about that team.
Yeah. Sorry, to answer. Yeah, let's go back to your original question. The player that would have sprung to mind if you asked me this, I don't know. Maybe still ask me this, actually. Maybe only Welbeck. He just seemed to have had like a massive outburst of goals towards the early part of the season, didn't he?
Yeah.
But obviously, I think I've said this, and obviously I've just said they beat us 3 times this season, but I don't think it's anything our back 4 can't handle.
That's true.
Who else would I say?
I still like Minter that we lost.
Minter,
I still like him. I know he didn't start the last game. He came off the bench, but he seems to be doing quite well for them. Mitoma, strange enough, is the one that I would be concerned about. However, again, he didn't start the game, but he came off the bench and scored. So that's just as much a concern, than if he kind of started and just had a great game. But that's why exactly Eddie. I mean, come on, Eddie knows what he's doing, but it's exactly how we need to play that game because they're going to play that game against us. They'll start who they start, but they're going to want their impact subs, and we need to have some impact subs as well.
You're right.
So to me, would Willock be more of an impact sub than starting him, or is Miley going to be more of an impact sub? Again, personally, I would still start Miley, but
I think you're right. No, I think you and Ian are right. I think I feel really bad saying this. I always forget. I don't forget about Miley because I know how incredible he is for us. But I think because obviously we haven't seen much of him this season, I think he just slips into the back a little bit because we haven't seen him as much as what I'd like to anyway. And I know Ian certainly would have. So I think you're right. No, I think he might go. I think we might see Miley start. Oh, I don't know. I'm interested to see.
I know. I'm dying to know now. But my actual concern with the Miley situation is, and I know it's all just social media rumours and talk about him going to like Dortmund and God knows who else who's been thrown in the mix. That would be a bigger loss than the Anderson loss to me. To lose Miley would be absolutely criminal, by the way. Yeah. Especially if we're at the situation now where we should have a lot of money to spend because we've obviously not spent much in recent windows or nothing 100%. At all in certain windows. So we should not have to now keep selling the likes of our homegrown players. Plus, if we are going to be in the Champions League, we need homegrown talent for the numbers anyway. We need that kind of balance. Depth of squad, man. We need to be looking at having a strong position, not just having an amazing starting 11, but we need the strength and depth double over in every single position, really, don't we? What I'd love to see from... Sorry.
Crack on, babe.
No, the only thing I was going to say about Miley as well is... I've lost my train of thought now, you see. Doesn't take much shit. Is that if he knows he's going to be maybe number 1 backup, which is what we're looking at bringing in if Big Joe's out, it is more of a reason that he wouldn't consider even trying to push for any type of move as well. Because he is, like we've just discussed, at an age where he should be getting fairly regular, or deserves to, or has the quality,
First team football.
to get fairly regular for first team football.
It's not a move that makes sense to me if Miley leaves in the summer.
Not at all.
I've got to be honest. I mean, he is. If you were to ask me what players should we offload in the summer, he is definitely not one. There are about 6 in front of him that I'd offload. Which I feel really bad saying that, but we have a lot of deadwood that needs to go.
We do.
And upgrade. But I think with the right time and regular first team football, I think Miley genuinely will be. What did Bruno call it at the Carabao Cup final? Effing legend. So yeah, I would really hate to see him go, and it definitely doesn't make sense for him to leave. I hope they don't do that. Yeah.
Cool. We'll wrap up that part. Are you ready? Have you got the Zencastr ad to read out for me?
No, I have not, but I'll get it.
Shall we just wax lyrical until you get it on your phone? Go.
It's the Zencastr one, isn't it?
Yeah, check.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. If you can see my eyes trailing, I am just looking at my dog chasing around a wasp.
As you do.
Here at the Global Sports Podcast Network, we spent a lot of time selecting our delivery platform. For God's sake, I've mucked up already. Zencastr came out the clear winner with 4K video recording from your phone and AI editing that automatically removes all those ums and ahs. It is super easy to start a podcast that sounds great and is delivered efficiently. If you're ready to tell your story, check out the link in the show description to learn more about Zencastr. God, should have put my words about 3 times.
Me and you've got issues, man.
I've got plenty of issues. Every time I do that, I always think about the podcast me, you, and Kev done about a month or so ago, where I just lost all control.
Yeah. 2 minutes of pure laughter. There was no feedback on that, so either people did think it was funny, or people thought, well, that lunatic, they just switched off at that point and stopped listening. So,
I agree.
High chance of that one, I'll be honest.
Brilliant.
All right, cool. We'll not drag out the third part too much, but I'm just going to make it a little bit different. We've obviously bleated on over multiple pods now about how important the next four games are, how we think we're going to finish, where we're going to finish, etc., etc. I'm not going to break down everyone's kind of fixtures. I'll just do ours. But me and you right now are going to say what we think is going to happen in the next 4 games. So not only are we going to say if we're going to win, lose, or draw, let's give some score predictions on all 4 games. We're going to pretend, just because, we've got to, that there's no more injuries, just Big Joe. So based on who's fit and how you think we'll play in the next 4, we'll go game by game. So Brighton, anyway, we all know Ian's going to predict 3-1, right? So he's taking his 3-1 for it. I'll do the Brighton prediction first of all. So what do you reckon is going to happen in the Brighton game? Win, lose, or draw, and what's the score?
I think we're going to win. I think we're going to go there and win. And it's going to be, like you say, box to box, goal to goal. I think it's going to be 2-1 to us. It's going to be tight. But we're going to win it because they know that they have to win this game.
We are.
They know we have to win
I agree that.
So I am going for that.
Cool. So 2-1 win, and that's it, really. And sorry, I did lose part of your audio there because someone tried to call my phone and it cut me off from listening to you.
No problem, my darling.
I hope you didn't say anything too important because I didn't hear it. It's fine. I hung up on them. It's fine.
Great.
So, yeah, I mean, I'm going to go for a win as well. I think you bang on. I think it's going to be tight as hell. I was going to say 2-1, so I'm not going to say 2-1. And now, I'm going to go for a mad goal frenzy of 3-2 to us. We're going to go 3-2.
Oh God, you're going pure goals.
I think it's going to be pretty stressful, but yeah, it's going to be 3-2.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. And I reckon it'll be 2-2 and we'll get the winner to make it just a little bit more exciting.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's my prediction in for that one. Right. So we've won the Brighton game. Chelsea.
The Brighton game.
Or Chelsea onto us, more like, because they're coming up here. So how do you feel about the following Sunday? Because we've now literally got just 4 games in a row, all on a Sunday, which is weird. Chelsea,
that's a bit weird, isn't it?
It is very weird. I mean, I appreciate the Chelsea one was moved because of them getting into Europe, and the Arsenal game was also moved for TV. It's just all of them have been shifted. Well, actually, no, they all have. Brighton, Chelsea, and Arsenal are all on TV, aren't they? Yeah. Everton's just obviously because that's the end of the season and that's what's happening. But Chelsea's a strange one for me. I'm not going to do my score. You can do it first. But it's the fact that it's a 12 o'clock kickoff, man. that's just so early. The atmosphere is going to be weird.
Early. Yeah.
However, the last time there was an early one, I doubted the atmosphere and it pulled through a bit more than I expected. So I'm not going to, again, slate it too much, I'll be honest, because, yeah, we'll keep the faith on that one.
Yeah. What kind of run
Chelsea?
are they on? Oh, they're on quite a good run, aren't they?
Oh, I wasn't even going to look. I'm just going to go for it. You can tell us if you're looking.
I'm looking. Right. I think we'll definitely win that one.
Mm-hmm.
Because I do think we have a better overall 11 than what they do. I'm probably going to eat my words, the fact I've said that. I am going to go 2-0 to us. We're at home. Teams hate coming up to St. James Park.
They do. Right, well, I was going to say 2-0. So
you can say 2-0.
No, it's all right. You know, we're like mixing it up. I might steal Ian's 3-1 actually, because he's not on here and he can't. And it's all right, man. It's like this a week and a bit away. You can steal it back before then.
Okay.
But for now, we've already decided
we're
going to win that 3-1. And at this point, we're going to be living our dream because we're going to be absolutely happy as hell and believe that we're 100% getting a Champions League at this point.
We're going to be hearing that Champions League team.
Oh my God, I can't even wait.
It gives me goosebumps every time I think about it.
I know. Right. Arsenal, who, if anyone's been lived under a rock, hasn't noticed, we've beat already 3 times this season, and they are yet to even score against us. Just as a side note, are we going to ruin Arteta's life by making it 4 in a row and still not letting score of us? Or are they going to get a little bit of payback and he's going to stop crying? What do you reckon?
We're absolutely going to send Mikel Arteta into a care home early. The thing is with Arsenal, right? It's a funny one for them because they're not really playing anything for the Premier League now. Really. I know that's a really bad attitude to have, but they're probably all focused on the Champions League.
Champions League,
and obviously, depending on how their next fixture against PSG goes, because we can't all beat PSG at home, I suppose. Can't all be
nice
us.
Dig.
Yeah.
Nice dig.
So depending on how that goes, obviously it depends on, I guess, the energy that they're going to bring to that game. But I think we're gonna beat them again. I'm gonna go another 2-1. I am boring with my scores. I think they're gonna all be tight games.
That's cool.
2-1.
Yeah, I don't. As much as I would love us to go down there and whip them 5-0, we've got to be realistic. They're not gonna let us get away with that. I don't think.
No, they're not.
But you're right. All they've got to play for is second place. And much to Ian's dismay, I still told him last night that I do believe Arsenal will secure second place. I just don't see them slipping up enough to lose it. I hope Ian's right, and it would be unbelievable if they did, and we somehow managed to finish above them, which again would be absolutely unbelievable.
Mate.
But then again, if our predictions are right, and we beat Brighton, we beat Chelsea, and we beat Arsenal, there's a high chance we could finish above Arsenal. So the way we're predicting it, we are now predicting a second place finish.
We're going to win the league.
Of course we are. I mean,
even though it's mathematically impossible.
I know, it's all gone, but we'll be knocking on Liverpool's door just for a laugh. I'll just go 1-0 though, so it's going to be just enough to make Arteta cry his river all the way home. And the more controversial the goal, the better in my eyes, because we do love upsetting him. So he absolutely has a meltdown as well, not just so that you can just have little tears. And again, if we do a 1-0, they haven't scored against us, because I think that's just an unbelievable kind of feat, I'll be honest, that we've even done it 3 times. So to do it 4 times would just be...
Eddie Howe loves that against Arsenal, don't he?
Yeah. And Arteta's blatantly got some kind of... He probably thinks there's like an Arteta doll in our change room or something, like a bit of voodoo going on.
Probably, yeah. Absolutely.
And if it isn't, there needs to be one.
Needs to go on.
Right, so now we're 3 games down, we're 9 points up.
We're going to smash these next team. We are going to smash this next
last
team.
match of the season, yeah. So Everton, the wonderful, wonderful Everton that we all just love.
Do you know what really annoyed me about this game? I can't come up for it because it's my best friend's... Well, no, I'm annoyed it's my best friend's wedding, but it's my best friend's wedding, so I'm going to miss the game entirely, because it's the last game of the season. I love the last game of the season as well. We're absolutely going to smash them. I hate Jordan Pickford, so it'd be nothing more that I'd love to see than him. I mean, I'd love to be them to be in a worse position than what they're in. I feel really bad saying that. Sorry to all Everton fans that I know, but yeah. 3-0, mate. I'm going for a 3-0.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah.
I hope so, because I hope to be there, because I haven't got tickets for it yet because I didn't come out in the ballot, but the resale goes on Monday, and it'll be the last time I have to deal with that wonderful resale general sale.
Until August.
August. I've got a few months of stress-free. I can stay off the website and not get banned. So if they just let me in for the last game, that would be wonderful, because I haven't missed one yet.
Fantastic.
Newcastle. But yeah, obviously I'll do my utmost to be there, and I'll yeah. So yeah, we need to finish on a high, man, regardless, don't we, really? In a way, it's a strange one, because I would almost sacrifice points in another game to ensure we had that, because I just love that kind of end of season feeling, especially when it literally is the last game at home, because it's not always at home.
After a
We've had a good
fabulous
one this
season.
season, haven't we?
Oh,
I
yeah,
know,
mate.
we started at home and we're ending at home, so that's kind of rare, that, like, I'll be honest. But so yeah, I'd all jokes aside about what we've just said about Arsenal and seeing Arteta cry, I would happily sacrifice points there and take them at Everton. Obviously, because we've got complete control over these voodoo dolls that we're talking about, if we had to really choose which game we're going to drop points on, it would be the Arsenal one. Because I do want us to come out fighting at Everton and just kind of end on a bit of a party atmosphere, and, like I say, have that Champions League kind of vibe, and just it'll be amazing, won't it? So
yeah, can't wait.
I'll go. They're not scoring again, like 4-0.
Oh, okay.
We're going out on
we're
going crazy.
We're going crazy.
I was going to be signing a sensible on 2-0, but I thought, that's boring, especially when the pod's out end. Who needs to end on a boring?
We're not going to be recording for like a month or whatever.
Exactly, yeah. So basically, let's have a quick look at the table based on our 12-point prediction. So we're going to finish on 74 points. So really, if that happens,
and Arsenal lose every other game, we're going to finish second.
If Arsenal don't get more than 7 points, we really would finish above them. But I have said I really, really, really want to see us and Forest in the top 4, particularly. If it's got to be the top 5, fine. But particularly in the top 4, because that will just upset the hierarchy so badly.
I said on social media the other week that I would love to see Nottingham Forest in the Champions League. Not at our discretion, by the way, like us and
absolutely
them,
not.
obviously.
I know. Yeah. It's got to be both of us. Yeah.
So I would love us and obviously Nottingham Forest to be in the Champions League. And I got asked a question like, why? Like, why do you want to see that? And I'm just like, I just love seeing teams that haven't been in that position for so long. Like the year we got, whatever it was, 2 years ago when we got back in Champions League. Oh my God. My God.
I know.
Like it just upsets the league a lot. People just cannot cope with it, and it gives me such satisfaction to see the likes of, I'm not even going to put Pep in this because Pep loves actually Newcastle. He actually loves Newcastle.
Yeah. I've got no real hatred towards Pep.
Like the Man Uniteds, the Tottenhams, even though they're closer to Sunderland than what they are us. Like it's just like new league. We've got new teams coming through now. Like come on. So come on.
It upsets the likes of the Premier League. It upsets the likes of Richard Masters, who does everything possible to try and put us down.
Yeah.
But that's what I just want, kind of some disruption and aside from anything else, Forest in particular, outside of looking at us, knowing exactly where we want us to kind of finish, Forest deserve it, man. For what they've done this season and how they've performed, they've been a joy to watch. So it's a strange one, because as much as I don't want them to win tonight, I am kind of rooting for them above other teams winning as well. So it's like trying to watch other teams, and you're like, obviously we're first, but right underneath, I'm just rooting for Forest to do something as well. Yeah. So
I'm rooting
not
for
tonight.
us,
just keep a little bit of pressure, and until we're like fully safe, like go nuts, Forest.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I mean, on that fine note, the rest of the season is just going to be bloody brilliant, isn't it? It's going to be a fantastic May. Eddie Howe and Jason Tindall are going to get joint manager of the month for May, because they won't win it for April, like you said. Slot will
Eddie
get it.
Howe's got to get manager of the season, right?
Yeah, I mean, yes. I think, right.
Who do we think it's going to be between? It's probably
Slot will get it, man.
To be honest.
Slot will get it, because he's went and won the bloody. Because he's won the league on his first season. Bloody blah. It's so boring, man. I know, but like, come on. It's too predictable, man. Like, come on. I know, but Eddie has won the first trophy in too many years. We won't keep talking about how many it's been. And if we're finishing the Champions League spot, that is by far our best season in like decades. So
Agreed.
That's why he deserves it. So it's, you know what I mean? So if we make Champions League, if we actually finish third especially, imagine.
Got to.
That was not foreseen. It just wasn't.
No.
But anyway, we'll watch the predictability of Slot getting it, and we'll just go boo and That's about it, really.
Yeah. And that ends that.
That does end that, exactly. So we'll stop whining. I shall say thank you very much. It has been a pleasure. And I will see you next week, chick.
See you next week.
Every club, every day.
Bye.